Now, Abhishek, introduce yourself.
Good morning, sir. I am Abhishek. I am 28 years old. I belong to Hamirpur district of Himachal Pradesh. I have done my schooling from Himachal Pradesh itself in Hamirpur. I am a graduate in mechanical engineering from VIT University, Tamil Nadu. And some prior to my work experiences, I have served as a block development officer for 1 year. Then I got into the Himachal Administrative Services, for which I was undergoing training at Shimla for 6 months. And then I got inducted into IPS, for which currently I am undergoing my basic course at NP at Hyderabad.
When did you join IPS?
Sir, in December last year, our course started, the basic course started.
December 21, 22.
Sir, no, sir. Sir, I got selected. Sir, in 22, I got selected, and our foundation course at Labasna started. After that, I was in EOL for 1 year for the examination. And this year in March 2023, our basic course at NPA started.
All right. What are your hobbies?
So, like I've mentioned in the dev that I'm a follower of Formula One motorsports, and so coming here at NPA, I have developed a new hobby of this game of Ultimate Frisbee.
Frisbee.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now tell me, you are an IPS officer.
Yes, sir.
Some expert reports have been there in the past for making reforms in the police.
Yes, sir.
One of them being the Prakash Singh report.
Yes, sir.
Are you aware of the report and what it says and what exactly has happened to it?
Yes, sir. So some of the points, as I can recall, it was about reforming the working of the police and reducing the political interference in the working of the police. And also, sir, bringing the accountability in the police function. So, sir, how it proposed was, first of all, separating the various functions of the police, as police is overburdened due to law and order, the investigation, and the protocol duties. So, separating these different domains will bring in more efficiency. For example, we can have a separate wing for investigation. Uh, uh, like that we can have for law and order, and secondly, sir, for reducing the uh, political interference, some reforms were reduced, like a fixed tenure.
No, but you say police is overburdened.
Yes, sir.
And therefore separating various functions would reduce the burden. How?
So like we'll have a dedicated force for the investigation that will look into investigation only.
Yes, but does that reduce the burden of the force? You just have a separate wing or separate unit dedicated to it. How does it reduce the burden?
So we are going to train that force in that specific function. We are going to equip them, and we also have to do recruitments in those specific wings.
What are the recommendations regarding appointment of Director General of Police in a state or the center?
Yes, sir. So, the main point was that he should have a fixed tenure, and it should not be like that. The people who are going to retire in 6 or 3 months, they are appointed as the DGP. So, and surrender, like there is a civil services board for the civil servants in the state. Similar type of board for police personnel was also advised.
Okay, but many of the recommendations of Prakash Singh have not been accepted by the states.
Yes,
despite
yes.
Supreme Court orders.
Yes.
Do you know the reason why?
So I think generally there is a lack of political will, which is needed to impart these reforms.
But what is the hesitation?
So generally there is this tendency of somehow like interfering in the working of the police by the political executive. So one reason I can say that is this, and secondly, some of these reforms, they also need, they may also put burden on the state exchequer. For example, more recruitment, separate wings, etc. Sir.
You think this is the reason?
Yes, sir, in my opinion.
Okay. Now my last question to you.
Yes,
you
sir.
have also worked in the Himachal Administrative Service.
Sir, I was under training for 6 months. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So supposing a police officer in your area comes to you, supposing you become a district magistrate somewhere and a police officer comes to you
Yes, sir.
with a case of preventive arrest
Yes, sir.
under section 107 of CRPC,
Yes.
107.111 of CRPC.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now you have to decipher whether there is some truth in what the police is saying or not. How would you go about doing that?
Sir, as I can recall, 107, it deals with bonding a person. Uh, Bonding a person. So the facts of the case, whatever the police has presented, I'll go through it holistically, and maybe there is the person who the police is calling to bond. He may have a history of involving in such crimes. So in these activities, so I will go all through these cases and then take the action.
Now let's move to the next panelist, Mr. Navneet Vasan. He's a retired IPS officer.
Good morning, Abhishek.
Good morning, sir.
Recently, in the wake of Ukraine-Russian war, which is going on for more than a year now,
Yes.
there are a lot of changes which have taken place in that region, especially in Europe. Some country has recently joined the Western Alliance, which is called NATO.
Yes, sir.
Can you name the country which has recently joined and give its background?
Uh, so Finland has recently joined NATO. So this move came after the this Russian attack on Ukraine, because out of the apprehension that the same aggression may follow Finland, and so talking about it historically, Finland had maintained a very neutral stance between the West and the Russia, which was also termed as Finlandization. Uh, but sir, due to the apprehension of a security threat to Finland, they have joined NATO.
You think that's the only reason why they have joined? Because they had a long history of relationship with Russia.
Yes, sir. So I think this aggression against Ukraine triggered Finland.
Okay. Coming to a different topic altogether. There's
Yes,
a
sir.
lot of talk about artificial intelligence, machine learning, a lot of news about it. Some people are of the belief that it will take away a number of jobs. Some people say that it will make our daily life very convenient. On the other hand, there are apprehensions that this may boomerang, and some of the leading personalities in the world in this field, they are advising caution. They are even saying that we should stop the development. So, what is your understanding? What role the artificial intelligence can play, and if there are dangers, which are those dangers?
So artificial intelligence, no doubt, it is the technology of the future and present also. So, sir, and also about the jobs, it will automate most of the work that the people do. But I think, sir, that is the natural course of the technology. This is how technology have developed through the ages. And I think we need to skill ourselves, skill our workforce into this artificial intelligence, so that we can produce more employment. We can fruitfully take the advantages of these technology. Like sir, there were earlier an apprehension about when the computers will come, when the internet will come, it will take away jobs. But as we have seen that it has generated a lot of jobs. India has benefited from the service sector per se. And sir, coming to the threats, yes, sir, being a machine and being very super intelligent, it has the chances of overpowering the human intelligence and turning into lethal machines. So I think, sir, when we develop these kind of technologies, specific regulations, specific checks from the government have to come in, so that these kind of any unfortunate things don't happen because of the technology.
Abhishek, you are a mechanical engineer by background.
Yes,
So
sir.
there are number of motor vehicle companies which came to India to
Yes, sir.
manufacture cars.
Yes, sir.
But some of the big names,
Yes, sir.
they met the Waterloo and they had to close the plants
Yes,
and
sir.
leave the country.
Yes, sir.
Whereas some others have been successful, both
Right.
in domestic market as well as export. What could have been the reasons for failure of those companies which had to leave the country?
Uh, Sir, as I can recall, Ford and Fiat, some of these big names, they had to close their plants in India. So generally, the reason was that the extreme competitive pricing that they were facing from the other companies like Hyundai and Honda, they had to close their operations in India. So one reason I can sir, recall is this.
Okay. Why the government is putting emphasis on introduction of electric vehicles, whether it is in public transport or whether it is in personal transport space?
Uh, so regarding the electric vehicles, the present government is moving towards this green technology, a green economy. So electric vehicles will contribute to that. And secondly, also, sir, because we import a large quantity of petroleum, which puts a lot of burden on our exchequer, switching into EVs will also ease that burden out. And as India has been emerging as a leader in the green economy, I think it's also a step towards that.
India has not generally been successful in manufacturing field. You know, we have done well in service field, but not in the manufacturing sector. Some areas we have done well, but most of the manufacturing we are not able to attract investment from outside. What are the reasons?
Uh, Yes, sir. Indian economy has like leapfrogged directly from agriculture to service sector and missed the manufacturing part yet. So it was generally because of some structural issues. For example, the taxation laws, the labor laws, and the higher labor cost in India as compared to other options, for example, China. And so the support to the labor intensive industries, for example, MSME, from the banks like credit has not been so much that they can like economic survey termed it as they were not able to turn into giants from the MSME. So I think that's why so we lag a bit in manufacturing yet.
Thank you, Abhishek.
Thank you, sir.
Next panelist is Mr. Nikhilesh Jha. He's a retired IAS officer.
Yeah, good morning, Abhishek.
Good morning, sir.
Okay, I think you are trying to run away from police service. Is this correct? Why do you want to leave? This is one of the top jobs, or rather top job in the country.
Right, sir. So IPS is a very prestigious service. So, but sir, I just wanted to join IAS because of the diversity that it provides of the work. And so secondly, I have been a part of the administration for 1.5 years. So I kind of wanted to be an IAS. So that was my main reason, sir. But sir,
Yeah.
I'll be happy to be a police officer if it doesn't work out. Like,
You'll be happy with all its incongruities, all the problems, states not willing to like take up the reforms which have been being proposed for long.
yes, sir. So nothing is perfect, so we have to make it perfect. So
Do you think Indian state is gradually converting into being a police state? Most of the state governments are relying more on police now. Is this correct?
uh, so like in what terms? I'm not able to.
Like in administration, in governance, actually what state government does,
Yes, sir.
they're governing the states, administering the state.
Yes,
So
sir.
police officials have more say in the administration. And what could be the reason?
Uh, Sir, you're talking about like switching to the commissionerates in some areas,
No,
or
it is not commissionerates, no. Like why police importance has gone up in administration. More of law and order issue, more of other issues, no?
yes, sir.
They're coming up in the states, many of the states.
Uh, Sir, I think police is important because unless the security, the law and order, it is ensured in any area, development cannot follow. So this thing which police deals with is the precursor for the development and prosperity of any state. So this say of, I think the police is important in that context.
Okay, what is your opinion on the development that took place yesterday, last night in UP?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, I think it was a very unfortunate incident. People being like, it was a cold-blooded murder which happened in the presence of the police.
But
So,
was police at the fault in this incident?
uh, sir, the whole thing is being investigated now by a 3-member committee. So the facts will come out at that point. But how the thing was done, I think it shakes the conscience of the society. The killing people in front of the cameras.
It's right. Like it was kind of facilitated if people see it carefully. Like what was the need to organize a press conference for these people? What was the need? And
So
who
I,
took this
so
decision?
I can't comment on that yet, sir.
Okay.
It
Yeah, that is a matter of investigation.
investigation, yes.
Yeah, let us switch to international relations.
Yeah.
Now, of course, we have discussed the Ukraine war and what is India's stand and why it is so.
So from the very beginning of the war, India's stand was clear that India uh, has said that any conflicts, they need to be resumed by diplomatic relations. And our Prime Minister has emphasized that this is no age of war. And sir, not aligning with any of the powers, I think India has shown a strategic autonomy in this whole thing which is happening. So, sir, we are pursuing our independent foreign policy on this strategic autonomy concept right now.
Do you think NATO expansion is encouraging this kind of, again, bloc, like army, military bloc expansion in the world, global polity? Whether NATO is needed at all if Warsaw Pact countries had been dissolved. So what is the utility of NATO-like organization in the world?
Yes, sir, you rightly said that. So this NATO thing, because it is one of the reasons why the war broke out. Because sir, even if we see in our context, if we see such military alliance in our neighborhood also, we would also be apprehensive. So yes, I think sir, these military alliances are a threat in the longer term and can lead trigger to these kind of wars.
Yes. So here the global organization like UNO and all, their role is satisfactory in handling these kind of situations, these conflict in regional or global level. Is it?
So from like a decade or so, this tendency has come like unilateral decisions or bilateral decisions or a grouping. These people, like these alliances have been taking decisions, and somehow the multilateral bodies like UN, they are falling a little behind for answer. Not able to stop war like the Ukraine-Russia war, it somehow sir, throws a light that there is a need to reform these bodies and they are not being able to deliver what they were supposed to.
Okay, Abhishek, you used some term for frisbee, no? Some special variety of frisbee that you are taking. What is that?
That's the ultimate frisbee.
Ultimate frisbee. What
Yes.
is that actually?
So sir, it is basically a disc throwing game in which sir, it is a very like it is a 40-minute game with 20 minute set and a 5-minute break.
Teams in this, individuals or teams?
So there are it's a team sport. It is a team sport. So sir, 7-person team. So sir, there is an offense and there is a defense. So basically, the aim of the offense is to throw the disc and reach the side of the opponent just by and throwing the disc to the players, and the task of the defense is to like neutralize that attack and not letting the other team into their area. So sir,
This
This
is interesting. This seems to be, but is it being like played in other places, or this is a new thing, new kind of game, or it is picking up?
Yes, sir, it is a new kind of game. And so
Okay.
one interesting thing about this game is that it doesn't have any referees or anything to enforce the rules. The players have to themselves enforce the rule and take the call.
Self-regulated. Okay,
Ye-
very good.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. All the best.
Thank you, sir.
Next panelist is Mr. Vijay Kumar. He is also a retired IAS officer.
Abhishek, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
You have a very interesting journey from BDO to HS to IPS and then further on the move, right?
Thank you, sir. Yes.
Okay, tell me what is the difference between a regular police setup, a district police setup headed by superintendent of police and a commissionerate?
Sir, in a commissionerate, the section 25 of CRPC, it says that the power police commissioner can be entrusted with the powers of the magistrate. So, sir, in basically in a police commissionerate, the police commissioner has some powers of the magistrate. So this is the basic difference. So he has the powers like he can impose section 144, powers related to the arms and ammunition, and sir, like 151, section 151 and 107. So these powers are with the commissioner, and it ensures that the decisions are taken in a swift way.
So you mean to say that the powers of executive magistrate
Magistrate, yes.
are,
Executive magistrate, yes, sir.
yeah, you should have used that term, right?
Right, sir. I'm sorry, yes, right.
Magistrate is term is a little misleading. And then, are you sure that under Arms Act also the Commissioner of Police gets the power, because Commissioner of Police gets the designation of additional district magistrate, whereas the Arms Act talks only about district magistrate.
So as per my knowledge, so like where I worked, so ADM used to issue the license for the weapons. So sir, I think it is a delegated power which varies from state to state.
Okay, okay, good.
Yes.
Now, tell me what is the difference between an inquiry and an investigation?
Uh, so investigation is generally the field of the police. So the police does the investigation, and the inquiry part is done by the magistrate, which can be both executive or judicial magistrate. So these are different domains of, I think, so magistrate and the police.
Okay, in a commissionerate setup, the inquiry is also done by police?
So it is done by the judicial magistrate.
No,
Yes, sir.
no. I'll take you back. I'll take you to section 174 of CRPC.
Yes, sir. Which
You
talks
know
about
about it?
inquiry. It talks about inquiry.
In a
And
commissionerate setup, who does it?
sir, it is done by the police. The inquest is done by the police.
Right.
Yes,
Now
sir.
I'll take you to Shant Singh Rajput's case.
Yes, sir.
What was Mumbai police doing in that case?
Uh, Sir, it was investigating the reasons for the suicide.
Are you sure? Because nowhere on record or in the media there was a mention of first information report.
Sir, I'm sorry, I'm not very well versed with that case from police angle yet. So
Okay,
yes, sir.
okay. Are you through with your professional training or it is still going on?
Sir, basic course is going on, sir, right now. 4 months of basic course.
Okay, okay. So you have just joined.
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay, okay. But it was 21 exam, right?
Yes, sir, it was 21. So I was on EOL for an year. So I missed the 74 RR. Now I am doing my basic course with 75 RR.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Suppose you are asked to do an inquest or inquiry under 174 CRPC.
Yes, sir.
What do you think is the reasonable time frame in which it should be completed? What is the scope of inquest?
So any unnatural deaths that happen, for example, suicide or even murders also. Sir, it is mentioned that inquest has to be done. I just have a limited knowledge yet about this, but I know like the cases, for example, suicide or any accident, accident or any animal bite. In these kind of cases, the executive magistrate, we have to request to the executive magistrate. If we find investigation that this was the cause of the death, then the executive magistrate can order the closure of that case.
Okay, the last question.
Yes,
Uh,
sir.
what are the different dimensions of social stratification and what is its relevance in governance?
Sir, talking about India,
Yes.
yes, sir. So talking about India, major dimensions I would say would be a caste, gender. So then, to a point, religion also. And so for governance, because we have these policies like positive discrimination, and we are trying to help the castes which were historically they were not they were under injustice, or we are trying to lift their social status. We have schemes like scholarships, etc. So governance helps in that. And so similarly, for some communities, religious communities, for example, so Muslims, etc., we have some schemes of the minority ministry aimed towards that. So sir, if we have the understanding of these stratifications, I think these schemes can be developed in a better way.
Okay, one last question.
Yes.
Have you heard about, South Africa after its independence became a role model for affirmative action? Can
Uh,
you tell something about it?
Sorry, sir, I'm not aware about South
Okay,
Africa.
okay, okay, okay. Thank you.
Thank you,
Our
sir.
last panelist is Colonel Dalgi Chima. He's a retired army officer as well as an educationist.
Good afternoon, Abhishek.
Good afternoon, sir.
Abhishek, kindly tell me, there is an organization called BPRD, where a lot of work has been done.
Yes, sir.
Train, get them trained, as a matter of fact, inspector and bureau ranks.
Yes, sir.
Yet, the police below the rank of inspector is considered insensitive and inefficient. What is the main reason? Where is the problem?
Uh, Sir, I would say that being a police officer, sir, I would say that that is the general perception. Because, sir,
Wrong, right? Wrong or right?
sir,
Wrong as a perception.
so the perception is not wrong, but it's not also fully right. Like because it is a perception. So perception is
Right.
misleading.
Perception don't have to be, black
Yeah.
or white. Okay.
Yes, sir. I would say that being the police, I think we are the most visible form of the government. Like our constable, every police officer is the one who's standing on the ground. And yes, sir, because some of the police officers, they indulge in some petty activities that brings this perception. For example, bribes, etc. That is the main reason.
But empathy and compassion, that costs nothing. Empathy
Yes.
and compassion should be an integral part of any police officer or anyone.
Right, sir. Sir, but like
On that account, people consider that empathy and compassion is lacking. Anyway, that is your view. And
Yes.
IPS officer cannot tell me more than that. Now, please tell me that jails is a major issue, problem jails, because the superintendents and warders, they are compromised by the criminals and things like that. I discussed this problem with the DGP of Himachal, Mr. Sanjay Kundu. Himachal has huge population of ex-servicemen.
Yes, sir.
Ex-servicemen are known to be, I would say, integrity-wise and professionally trained, havaldars and below those ranks. I suggested to him, why don't you make use of these people in jails for jail administration? And he said, yes, good idea, but nothing has been done. You tell me, what is the problem? Why can't we use the ex-servicemen for this particular, especially in a state like Himachal?
Thank you, sir. That is a very good idea actually. The correctional
No, but
facility.
this idea has not come from somewhere. It is known to everyone. I mean,
Yes, sir.
use of the ex-servicemen for governance or policing or for jails,
Yes, sir.
right from the chief minister downwards, everyone would know that.
Yes, sir.
I had the occasion of sharing this with Mr. Kundu, and he said, we are going to do this, that. It is 6 months back, but nothing has been done. Where is the problem?
So basically, sir, it would require a policy change. So, sir, various stakeholders are involved in this. Thing.
Okay.
And
Okay, I understand what you want to say. Now, please tell me that police officers are sent to the paramilitary forces,
yes, sir.
isn't it?
Yes, sir.
BSF and CRPF and so and so, so and so. And
Yes.
they resent it a lot. There is a lot of resentment on that account. Are you aware of this?
Yes, yes, sir. From the
There is
CAP.
a resentment. What is the reason? Why should a police officer go and, command as a DIG, go there suddenly, and not the people who are coming from the ranks in BSF?
Yes, sir.
Is it the right thing to do?
Sir, in my opinion, the higher echelons of the CAPFs, they are generally manned by the IPS officers. So the reason is that the mandate of the paramilitary forces, it requires a sync with the police force of that particular state. So, sir, if an IPS officer heads that, I think the coordination part is better. So, sir, in my opinion, this is one of the main reasons. And sir, also they have to, like, for example, talking about CISF or CRPF, a lot of other ministries and like army, the military, they are also involved. So, sir, if it is headed by an IPS officer, that convergence and that coordination would be better.
Rather than having an army officer going there in BSF, for example, would that be better, or a police officer going there would be better?
So I think the mandate is very different, like of what.
All right, all right. Okay. Now, during your training, have you gone to, say, Ladakh and Siachen or somewhere? You visited those, or you are yet to go there?
So we're yet to go. So we just recently this week only, like I returned yesterday at night. We went to Mussoorie for our ITBP attachment.
That I understand. Now tell me, what is the problem? Last question. What is the problem of Siachen? This is one problem which is doable, which can be sorted out because of many reasons. How is it that this problem, when did it start and what is the problem? Siachen Glacier.
Siachen, yes, sir. So, sir, this Siachen, the Saltoro Ridge. So it's
Okay.
yes, sir.
I mean, that name is impressive, Saltoro region, but the Siachen problem, when did it start and what was the reason behind it and why can't it be sorted out?
Sir, I'm sorry, I can't recall the exact year for now, sir. But being the strategic location that it holds, so sir, the Pakistani forces, they tried to capture that area, but India launched an operation where it swiftly captured that area.
13th April 1984. Was the
Operation Meghdoot.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
All the best to you.
Thank you, sir.
Unacademy. Let's crack it.